What is up, you guys? ShelbyKay here, and welcome back to my channel. It has been probably like 6 to 8 months since I sat down and did this type of video. I'm getting back into it. I'm not going to talk too much about that, but today I am back with a recent favorites video. That would be fun to just kind of go over some of the things I'm loving. I haven't done a favorites video in quite a while, so I thought it'd be fun to give you guys some updates. The lighting is kind of funky. Let me see if I can fix it. I just got a new ring light, so maybe that's a little bit better. Unfortunately, my bedroom where I'm filming doesn't have very good lighting, and I'm trying out this new ring light that I got, so it's gonna take some playing with, so bear with me while I mess with it throughout the next few videos. But yeah, today we are going to be doing a favorites video. Let's just go ahead and jump right in. I have a whole list here of things I want to go over, and it's just a hodgepodge. I know usually I kind of break it down, but I just kind of made the list as things came to me, so we're just gonna freeball it and just do it in the order I came up with it. So first thing I have been absolutely loving, had on repeat, just literally have been so obsessed with, is Kelsea Ballerini's Rolling Up the Welcome Mat for Good EP. She had come out with the Rolling Up the Welcome Mat EP earlier this year. It was out when me and Tori went to the Kelsea Ballerini concert in June. But shortly after that, she released the Rolling Up the Welcome Mat for Good EP, which has the healed versions of the songs. Basically, she added a few things to the songs from the original EP. She extended one of the songs, and then she added a new song. And I've been absolutely in love with it. That album and Taylor Swift and just Kelsea Ballerini in general are all that I've been listening to for the last like little bit. So absolutely in love with that. I've always really been into journaling, but for some reason this year I've just really been into it. I kind of realized this year that I still have a lot of like healing and shadow work to do. As much as I feel like I've healed a lot from losing Avery and all of that kind of stuff, I also lost my grandfather 2 months ago, which has been really hard. He was really close to me and my family, and I'm still dealing with that as well. I kind of dipped into a bit of a depression this summer. It wasn't like a full-blown depression, but it was definitely there, and I had a lot of anxiety and just like racing thoughts and things like that. So I picked up journaling again, like hardcore in the summertime. I was journaling almost every single day, just as a way to like get the thoughts out of my head and everything that I was like thinking about and dealing with and all of that. I haven't been journaling as much lately, but I did journal last night for the first time and it felt really good. In that same note, I did want to pick up some sort of guided journal, just something quick that I could fill out like every single day. And I saw this at Target. It's the 3,000 questions about me journal. And basically it's just full of random like 1-sentence questions. Like it asks, which do you like more, a really good book or a great movie? What do you feel should be mandatory for seriously wealthy people? How are you your worst enemy? Just like all these questions, and there's 3,000 of them. This has been great. It's just been a fun way to kind of deep dive and get some of those, you know, questions you don't really think about. It's been fun. The next thing I've been absolutely loving, I have been trying to really embrace my more witchy side this year. I've decided to just go full force and just do it. So I've been really deep diving into my birth chart. It's something I've always been interested in, but I've never really looked into it that much. Like I knew what my birth chart was, and I kind of, you know, had done a little like surface level research, but I really wanted to deep dive into it this year. So I purchased this book actually quite a while ago. I think I got it from Five Below, but it's the Complete Guide to Astrology, Understanding Yourself, Your Signs, and Your Birth Chart. While I've been like going through my birth chart, I actually bought this journal that's super pretty. This has become like my kind of spiritual journal. It's going to be a place where I can put like my tarot readings, and I've just kind of listed out my birth chart. And then I've broken it down. So like here I wrote down all the things about my sun sign, what it means, my moon sign. I'm currently working on my ascendant sign, and I'm just going to kind of work through everything in my birth chart and, you know, put what does it mean traditionally, how do I resonate with it, that kind of thing. So that's just been really fun to kind of dive into. As I said, it's something I've always been interested in, but I've never really taken the time to like sit down and learn about. So this has been a lot of fun. Moving on, obviously I am planning a wedding. We are getting married in March, so I have just been consuming all of the wedding content that I can, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram Reels, or YouTube. I've subscribed to a couple like planners, like wedding planners, that kind of thing. I am on wedding TikTok, so I just scroll through my For You page and it's all kind of wedding things. Same with on Instagram Reels. I always get recommended videos. It's just been a lot of fun. Even though we're not really planning a traditional wedding per se, it's still really fun to like get ideas and see what other people are doing. So just something that I've consumed a lot of because I'm in that stage of my life. So that's been a lot of fun. The next thing that I have is Mitch and I actually purchased an espresso machine. We had a Keurig for, we've had a Keurig basically the whole time we've been together. We had a regular coffee pot and then we had an espresso machine, but the espresso machine stopped working. And that was our favorite method of coffee. So we were just using the Keurig, and the Keurig is not very good. I used to be in love with it, but I don't know. I haven't been into it. I think what it is I've learned I don't like coffee per se. I like espresso. So we finally broke down and got an espresso machine, and it is one of the best purchases we've ever made. I absolutely love it. It makes delicious coffee. We even got it with the milk frother, and it just makes making coffees in the morning fun. I actually drink my coffees in the morning now. Oh, great purchase. One of the best purchases we've made as adults. So the next one, which I talked about in my last vlog, which I think you guys will have seen before this, is I finally got sew-in extensions. Color-wise, they didn't quite turn out the way we wanted. They were supposed to match my hair and kind of create an ombre effect, but they didn't take the dye as well as we wanted, so they're kind of pink, but I actually really like it. I think it's really fun. I've used clip-ins for years, but I've been really wanting to invest in sew-in extensions since I was like 16, just because I really want my hair to be long. And even though my natural hair is getting really long, like this is my natural hair, it's still not quite to where I want it to be, especially for the wedding. So I decided for the wedding I was just going to take the plunge, and we're testing it out now so that, we have time to tweak things as we need to. I am absolutely obsessed with them. I have just felt so confident and pretty since I got them. And then in the same note, I've actually had this for a while, but I've been absolutely loving it. I finally broke down and got a new curling iron because the one I had didn't really work very well. So I got this one from Revlon. I don't know the exact name. I know it's a really popular one though. I got it at Ulta, but I know you can also get it on Amazon. The barrel is, it was like infused with coconut oil. So it's, I don't know. It just makes your curls really, I don't know how to explain it, but the curling iron I was using before, it didn't work very well. The curls would fall out almost immediately, and it just didn't work very well. So this has been an absolute life changer. I love curling my hair now, even though I am trying to use less heat on it. But since I got the extensions, I've curled it almost every single day. I digress. It's just been a lot of fun to play with my hair, and actually I have convinced Tori to buy this one as well because she had the same problem where her hair would never hold a curl, and I would curl her hair with this one, and she finally like went and got it herself. So it's a really good curling iron. It's pretty inexpensive. I think it was like $25, maybe $30. So yeah, absolutely love this. One of my staples of my life currently. The next thing to kind of stay in the beauty realm is I have been loving no foundation makeup. I don't have any foundation on today. The only thing I put on was the e.l.f. Halo Glow. Like, I guess it's kind of a foundation, but now that my face has really cleared up, like I still have a little bit, like I have a breakout going right here, but I still have like some scarring and stuff. But I've just been loving a more natural look. So basically I've been not putting really any foundation on my face. I'll just do a little bit of bronzer, blush, my eyebrows, and some eyeshadow, and that's about it. Like I've just been loving the no foundation look. Foundation has kind of been the bane of my existence, but I was always a full beat girly. Like I needed to do full face of makeup, full foundation, but foundation and me never really mixed. I have like, I think combination skin where either it would just break up on my face because my face is oily, or it would just be cakey as all hell because my face is dry. I could never get foundation to really look like it would look good on me for like an hour, but then it would just look disgusting. It wouldn't stay. It just would always feel super gross on my face. I honestly think that might have been why my face was breaking out so bad. Just in general, I just have been loving the more natural look, not having to wear makeup. I've started to embrace a lot more of my rosacea and redness. I don't know. It's just been so much better for me. It's boosted my confidence. I get ready so much faster in the morning because I'm not having to mess with a full foundation routine. I don't know. I've just been really loving it. I feel most myself. I just feel really good about it. So, and it's taken me a really long time to get to this point. The next thing I have been loving is actually a podcast. I may have talked about it before, but I don't think I have, so that's why I'm putting it in this video. And that is the 20 Whatever podcast. It's by Sierra Schulte, Ryan Christensen, and Paloma Favon. It was created by Sierra Schulte, who's one of my all-time favorite YouTubers. She does videos about like body confidence. She has a really cute vlog channel with her husband and her daughter. She created this podcast with two of her best friends who also have become some of my favorite YouTubers, and they just talk about like life and growing up in your 20s, which I'm 30, but I just resonate with a lot of it, talking about their friendship. It's just a really, really, really good podcast. I love it. It's very wholesome. I've gotten a lot of ideas for the podcast Tori and I are putting together from it. It's a really fun podcast to listen to. I look forward to a new episode every single week. The next one is a YouTube channel I have been loving, which is also kind of a side off of 20 Whatever, I guess, and that's Rachel Rambles. She is actually the editor for Sierra Schulte's channel, and she's the editor of the podcast, but she does have a vlog channel. I just love her videos. I love her energy. I think she is just so relatable, and I've just been really enjoying her videos. The next things are some books that I have been loving lately, or that I've read recently. The first one is Crescent City. I did read this book, I think beginning of the year, or maybe it was last year. I don't know, but I read this somewhat recently. I did really enjoy it. This is probably my least favorite of the of her series, but it is really good. I have been waiting to read the second one, but it only is available in hardback right now, and I just can't purchase the hardback when my other one's in paper. I just can't do that, so I'm waiting for it to come out in hardback. I think it's the end of this year, maybe beginning of next year it'll be out in paperback. But this was still a really good book. It took quite a while to get into, which I've heard is pretty common, just because she does a lot of heavy, like, detailed world building for the first, like, I'd say quarter of the book. And it was really hard to follow, and I just couldn't get into it, but I'm like, just keep reading. And after that, like, heavy world building section, it became really good, and I got obsessed with it. So still a really good book. As I said, least favorite of mine of her series, but the next book series that I have been really into this year is The Cruel Prince. Again, another book that I couldn't really get into at first because I knew it was like an enemies to lovers thing. But to me, it was more like he was a bully to her. I guess I should kind of describe what it's about. It says, sharpen your blade, harden your heart. Jude was 7 when her parents were murdered, and she and her 2 sisters were stolen away to live in the treacherous high court of Fairy. 10 years later, Jude wants nothing more than to belong there, but many of the Fae despise humans, especially Prince Cardan, the youngest and wickedest son of the High King. To join a place at the court, Jude must defy him and face the consequences. So I heard this was an enemies to lover tale, which it is, but at the beginning I was like, he's more of a bully than anything else to her, which I still kind of agree with, but it does get really good. I actually I have the whole series now. I've read the whole series other than the side stories that have come out, but I've read the main series. This is really good. I know a lot of people really like it. It's not a spicy book at all, so if you're looking for something spicy, you're not really going to find that here. They have one scene that's a fade to black scene. Still really good book. Still really enjoyed it. Still highly recommend it. And then one of the more recent books I've read is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I wasn't sure I was going to get into it because lately I just can't get into anything that isn't like fantasy and fae based. But it was really good. It is kind of I will put a trigger warning. It does talk about unaliving yourself. That's kind of the premise of the book. I'll read you guys the blurb. We all have regrets, choices we could have made differently, paths we didn't take, other lives we might have led. But what if you were given a chance to fix your past? Enter the Midnight Library. Nora's life has been going from bad to worse. Then, at the stroke of midnight on her last day on Earth, she finds herself transported to the Midnight Library, where each book contains an alternate life, a possible world in which she had made different choices. She is given what seems like an ultimate opportunity, a chance to undo her regrets and try out each of the other lives she might have lived. But things aren't always what she imagined they'd be, and soon her choices place the library and herself in extreme danger. Before time runs out, she must answer the ultimate question. With infinite choices, what is the best way to live? So it was really good. It was a really quick read. I think I read it in like 3 days. So really good book. Really enjoyed it. Again, I didn't think I was going to get into it because it's not fantasy, but really good. I do highly recommend it. And then I know I've talked about this series a million times, but I am rereading it. So of course it's going to be on my recent favorites. And that is Throne of Glass, which is my all-time favorite series of all time by Sarah J. Maas. I'm currently on Heir of Fire, so I'm almost halfway done with the series, but love this series. And I was like, you know what? I just want to reread it. My sisters are currently reading ACOTAR, and just talking about it with them just made me want to reread Throne of Glass, because I really want them to read this series as well, but I told them to start with ACOTAR because it's the more popular one. I'll read you guys the blurb in case you don't know what it is. It is a fantasy series. 2 men love her. The whole land fears her. Only she can save them all. In a world without magic, an assassin is summoned to the castle. She comes not to kill the vicious king who rules from his throne of glass, but to win her freedom. If she defeats 23 killers, thieves, and warriors in a competition, she will be released from prison to serve as the king's champion. Her name is Saleda Sardothine. The crown prince will provoke her, the captain of the guard will protect her, and a princess from a faraway land will befriend her. But something evil dwells in the castle, and it's there to kill. When her competitors start dying one by one, Selena's fight for freedom becomes a fight for survival and a desperate quest to rule out the evil before it destroys her world. That's not a very good summary of the series in itself. That's just kind of the summary of this first book, but it gets way better after this book. I still really enjoyed this book, but love the series, rereading it, had to mention it in this video. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I've talked about it a million times in other videos, so. Getting down to the last couple here, the next thing I have been actually really into, which is very surprising, is like working out and going to the gym. I haven't done it in a couple weeks only because I got sick and I just haven't gotten back into it since then. But I have been working out more consistently this year than I ever have in my entire life. I still have not been super consistent. I think my biggest streak was maybe 2 or 3 weeks where I would go like multiple times a week, but I have just been more active in general. I don't know, I've beaten that hump of like, oh God, the gym is terrible. I just hate it. I hate every part of it. Where now I'm like, I kind of look forward to going to the gym because it makes me feel so good and I'm just feeling myself get stronger. So something I never thought I would put in a favorite video because I just always thought I'm just not someone who likes to work out, but I'm starting to enjoy it. So here we are. That is everything I have for you guys today. Those are all the things that I have been loving recently. Let me know down in the comments below what types of things you guys have been loving recently because I'm just curious to know. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Also be sure to check out my TikTok and my Instagram, which will be linked down below. I'm not as active there as I would like to be, but we're hopefully going to change that. As always, I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.